What is money? What does it do? Well, money is very important in a context where most of the things that you need has to be exchanged through that. In that sense, money is important, but it can never be more important than the things that you're going to exchange it for, right? So you may need to receive a good education, you may need health care, you need clothing, you need a shelter, right? Well, this is like getting even more tricky. You need friends, you need love, right? And some of these, right, are not exactly easily purchased through the use of money. So knowing what you actually need and knowing what money can buy directly or indirectly is an important lesson in life. Money, to a lot of people, can be the most important thing in their life. And we probably have heard stories about people doing things, risking their lives, and some people actually gave their life in exchange of money. So there are like many people doing different things with money and life. And now, like that takes me to one of these little quotes that I learned as a child from Sunday school, right? That was actually from the Christian Bible in the Gospel according to Matthew, chapter 16, verse 26. What profit will a person have if he gains the whole world and forfeits his life? Or what can a person give in exchange for his life? So many of you might have heard similar things like this, but I think there are like a few important concepts here, right? One is, of course, like money is put in juxtaposition with life. And I think that provides the context. We have to look at like what is the meaning and significance of money in one's life. And then, of course, all right, you can get to ask questions about, so what is life all about? And, some people will say, well, you know what? Like you cannot really live without money, which is certainly not true. Well, the historic fact is, I think Homo sapiens, or human beings, probably have lived longer as a species without money historically than with money. In the history of our species, money is actually a relatively recent invention. And there is another keyword in this Bible verse that I want to draw your attention to, that is exchange. So money is actually an instrument for exchange. So I have always said this, and people hate me for that. And then obviously a lot of people would disagree with my statement. My ex-wife actually once commented that my attitude towards money is characterized by animosity, and she said that like I probably developed that animosity in my previous life because it seems that I was like born with this like bias or disorder that sort of like set me aside from like normal human beings in that I didn't crave money. Well, she was wrong on multiple counts because first of all, I do not hate money. If you're offering to give me some money for a good cause, I will gladly take it. But the statement that I'm about to make, right, listen carefully. And your immediate response is probably disagreement. But I want us to carefully consider this particular statement. So my statement is, no one actually needs money. Okay, so you're going to, you must be crazy, but you just said, didn't you say it yourself? Like if I gave you some money, you would gladly take it. Yeah, but that is not because I needed it. So I'm going to give you my favorite example. My students refer to this as the LV example. So you probably think you know what LV is, right? No, it is not what you think. So LV in my example stands for limited vision. So why do we say that? So the example goes like this, right? So someone spends a fortune to obtain a designer item, which is like probably beyond his or her reach. We have people spending like months of salary to get a handbag or a purse or like whatever, believing that this will lead to, say, for example, people respecting you more, liking you more, and then like you'll be enjoying, better relationships, which actually does not happen like that. What this person needs is not an expensive designer item. What this person needs is maybe self-esteem, good relationships, social approval, acceptance, being valued by people, or maybe a sense of accomplishment. All of those are actually achievable more cost effectively by other means. Purchasing an expensive designer item is one of the ways to address this need, but it's actually not really effective compared to like a lot of other options. Once I actually did this exercise with a group of like young executives, and one of the suggestions given was like one person said that like, okay, instead of like spending like this amount of money on an expensive designer item, you can actually spend like 1/10 of the worth of that item and take your entire work team out to a fine dining at the best restaurant in town. Well, they're going to be remembering this more, and it is something that is so unusual in their lives, right? That it's going to create bigger impact, right, than you like going to work with a particular designer item, handbag or purse or briefcase or whatever. So I'm just using that as an example, right? If you know what you need, then you can use your money effectively to get there. So if you're thinking of like a comfortable, happy life, right, surrounded by friends and people who like you and who value you, does money help? Well, actually money can help, but like most people would not spend the money and time and resources this way. So one of the things that I've always known, and it is well supported by research in mental health and social psychology, is that the single most important predictor of health, wellness, mental health, and happiness actually is good relationships. And how to build gratifying relationships should be a central concern in your life. But if you ask the question, how many people are willing to invest money to help build healthy, gratifying relationships? Well, actually very few people would. You may say, no, that's not true. Like, what about those people who are like buying, diamond rings and like sports cars for the people they like? Well, I would tell you that, well, those are helpful in some instance in lubricating the relationship or nurturing the relationship to some extent. But to be like effective in developing interpersonal relationships and being able to enjoy the rewards coming with that does not require expensive gifts like sports cars or like diamond rings or like property. Actually, if you're willing to invest like a few weeks time, right, and learn this in a systematic manner, And the cost of that learning experience is typically not ultra expensive. You're going to be able to benefit from a way better life in which you'll be surrounded by people who love you, not only the people that you're attracted to, people who value you. And that is an investment that most people don't even think of making. Right. So this is why I want to show you, like using this example, is that figuring out what makes you most happy, what will bring you the most gratification, requires an understanding of how you can go about doing things. And does money play a role in it? I would say yes, it does. But then you're putting money in its proper context. Do you need money to do that? Well, technically yes, but like you actually do not need the money. You need what the money can buy you way more. And the other thing, of course, is that many of the things that you can get with money, the important things in life, can also be purchased or exchanged without using money. So I just like give you a few examples here. Money is an important instrument of exchange. But what are the other resources and instruments of exchange? We will be covering that later if you follow my videos. So I'm just giving you some ideas. So if you have, say, for example, very good social capital in terms of like connection, recognition, like information and being known by people, that will get you a lot of things that you need in life. The other heading is what I call like personal resources, which is like your health, your knowledge, your skills, your expertise, right? Those are your personal resources, and if you have a lot of those, right, you'll be able to get around and achieve your goals, right? Not necessarily primarily through having money. Actually, some people would be willing to pay you for you to share some of those personal resources. And then we can also be talking about symbolic or cultural resources. So like it can come with who you are. It can also come with like what you know. It can also come with like what you're capable of doing. So those are the important alternative like resources that you can utilize to exchange for things you actually need in life.